When we hear about blacks in 20th century history, we think about segregation, discrimination, and the overcoming of those difficult realities by African American heroes like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks. When we hear about blacks in sports, we think about track and field star Jesse Owens, or about Jackie Robinson, the first black ball player in Major League Baseball. We hardly hear about the Negro team that Jackie Robinson played on prior to joining the Brooklyn Dodgers, or about the general manager, Branch Rickey, who agreed to sign Jackie Robinson. Most of what we hear about in black sports history has to do with the individuals that rose above the cultural stereotype and overcame that discrimination. But what about the individuals who are not in the spotlight? The individuals who created those opportunities for ball players like Jackie Robinson and Roy Campanella to break the color barrier. There have been many people involved in establishing the opportunities for black ball players to succeed. Some of the most notable being Rube Foster, Cum Posey, Gus Greenlee, and Branch Rickey. Had it not been for men like this, we may not have seen the integration of baseball for quite some time. The color line in baseball was drawn in 1887 when African Americans were banned from playing on white teams. Black Americans responded by developing their own teams and leagues outside the white league structure. In 1920, an organized league structure was formed under the guidance of Andrew Rube Foster, a former player, manager, and owner for the Chicago American Giants, a Negro baseball team. In 1933, William Augustus Gus Greenlee, owner of the Pittsburgh Crawfords, one of the most successful Negro League teams, announced plans to establish a new league, the Negro National Association of Baseball Clubs, commonly referred to as the Negro National League or the NNL. Although Greenlee was not well liked in the beginning, especially by Cum Posey, manager and owner of the Homestead Grays, another Negro League team, Greenlee eventually became president of the NNL and became a major financial backer of many teams and the league itself. While Greenlee and Posey and the other league owners and officials did what they could to impact black baseball, they were never able to accomplish what Branch Rickey did. On October 23, 1945, Branch Rickey, general manager and president of the Brooklyn Dodgers, offered a major league contract to a black ball player named Jackie Robinson. While with the Dodgers, Rickey made it a point to voice his disapproval of the color barrier. Rickey was quoted in saying, "The color line was not only wrong, but stupid. A good baseball team should get the best players possible, no matter what their color." While Rickey was determined to find a quality black player from the Negro Leagues, he needed to be very cautious on who he decided to bring up. To help make his decision, Rickey relied heavily on his scouts and made it clear to them that he wanted an athletic, focused, and hard-working player. More importantly, he wanted a player who was focused and disciplined enough to take the criticism from opponents, fans, and possibly even teammates without fighting back. The player Rickey chose, Jackie Robinson, had played interracial sports all his life. He became the first athlete in UCLA history to earn major letters in 4 different sports in the same year, those being baseball, football, basketball, and track. Rickey selected him carefully, judging that he had both the talent and the character needed to endure the inevitable attacks by opponents of the integration of baseball. This picture of Jackie Robinson and Branch Rickey was taken at the signing of Robinson's 1947 season contract to play for the Brooklyn Dodgers. On April 15, 1947, Jackie Robinson made his Major League debut with the Dodgers and became the first African American Major League Baseball player in the modern era. Jackie Robinson had a successful career with the Brooklyn Dodgers from 1947 to 1956, the Dodgers being the only team Robinson played for. Following Rickey's lead, some Major League clubs were quick to integrate. The Dodgers had 5 black players on their rosters by the mid-1950s, but it was more than 12 years later that every team in the majors had a black player in uniform. In the end, it took the efforts of black and white men and women working together to make the league a catalyst in breaking the color barrier in Major League Baseball. Had it not been for men like Rube Foster, Gus Greenlee, Cum Posey, or Branch Rickey, who knows when baseball would have been integrated. With continued segregation throughout American history, we may have never had the pleasure of watching players like Jackie Robinson, Roy Campanella, or even Hank Aaron, who are all products of Negro baseball.
Why did it take Major League Baseball so long to find an African-American player?
In January 1946, Major League owners and league officials wrote a secret report on the possibility of blacks breaking the color line. The report forcefully recommended that blacks not be allowed into the major leagues. A vote was taken and passed 15-1 in favor of keeping blacks out. The only vote against was Branch Rickey.
Were there any other positive effects that Branch Rickey had on baseball?
While working for the St. Louis Cardinals in the 1930s, Rickey created baseball's minor league system, or farm system. Rickey would also continue to use his scouts and his ownership of the Brooklyn Brown Bombers, a Negro team, to sign more blacks to the Dodgers.